The Ink and Paint Club podcast is intended for mature audiences. I know we're usually talking about kids' cartoons and stuff, but there's going to be naughty language. Anyway, listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, your weekly home for animation reviews and discussions.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the new and improved, except not really, Ink and Paint Club podcast.
Previously on the Ink and Paint podcast.
I should totally do that, except I probably won't because I'm lazy. Anyway, my name is JD, I am your host, and with me, as always, is my ginger compatriot, Kyle.
I'm Kyle, I guess.
Well, you should be sure of who you are, Kyle.
I'm sorry. It's a mystery.
Be confident. Oh yeah, and Dustin is back as well.
What's up out there, all you boxer snouts?
We missed him and wanted him to come back because it was hilarious last time.
You missed me, but your aim is getting better. You see what I did there?
This is the kind of quality we expect from our guests.
This is comedy gold.
Quality comedy. Yeah, there you go.
Now everybody laugh! Or I'm gonna feel very self-conscious.
Yeah. Dustin brought up to me a couple weeks ago about wanting to talk about some MTV cartoons.
You bet
I'm
I
like,
did.
hell yeah. Yeah, you did. And I was like, hell yeah, we'd totally be down for that. And then I realized, like, we could probably fill an entire episode with Clone High and Daria and make those their own episodes. So we're like, let's just talk about Clone High because we fucking love that show and we've been saying we're going to do this episode for like 2 years.
I could talk about Clone High all day and all night.
I mean...
Well, I made...
scheduling issues.
Yeah, so, for those of you who don't remember or know what Clone High was, it was a very short-lived animated show on MTV back in, like, 2002, I think.
That sounds about
Wikipedia
right.
Wikipedia says 2002 that I'm reading this off of. And what, you know, now that I know who these people are, what I find interesting is that it was co-created between Lord and Miller, who, you know, did the Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street, and they did Son of Zorn that got recently canceled. That makes me sad.
And they did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
That they did.
And
it's also...
Was Son of Zorn good?
Yeah.
I never saw it.
I liked it. It was very interesting.
It sounded like it had an interesting concept, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was like if animated He-Man came to live action world and was a total dickbag.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good like that. But so yeah, Clone High was co-created between Lord and Miller and also Bill Lawrence, who created Spin City and Scrubs, which both shows I very much enjoy. So like having all the three of those people creating one show is like, you know, I could see why it was so great.
I know a lot of actors from Scrubs had like minor roles in Clone High here and there.
Flynn.
Yeah, Neil Flynn was the janitor. Donald Faison was a couple of characters. John McGinley was the truck driver. So yeah, there's a lot of Scrubs carryover from Clone High. I swear there's an episode of Scrubs where someone's wearing a Clone High t-shirt.
Oh man,
I don't remember if that's true or not.
I'd pay large amounts of money for a Clone High t-shirt.
I mean, if you've got Photoshop and access to Redbubble, you can make your own.
I'll have it say, "Ask me about Clone High."
With just a picture of Abe's face on it.
Yeah, and that's enough to start a conversation right there.
There you go. So yeah, basically the conceit of Clone High is that the government decided they were going to dig up famous guys and ladies
and make them using genetic copies.
I was gonna word speak the entire theme song. Yeah, they dug up a bunch of historical figures, made teenage clones of them, and sent them to high school.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
At the time. So, our main characters are Abraham Lincoln and Gandhi and Joan of Arc, John F. Kennedy, who's a total D-bag. I love D-bag John Kennedy.
Yeah, he's a great D-bag.
He's the best D-bag. And Cleopatra. And then there's like all these other historical figures that pop in from time to time.
And even though they're not historical figures, there's the principal of the school, Cinnamon J. Scudworth, and his robot butler, Mr. Butlertron.
He calls everybody Wesley. Don't know why.
3 bacon for Scudsworths?
Why, I'm a Scudworth.
Yes, and get ready for the next hour of this, because it's literally like half it's just going to be us quoting the show.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was thinking about this.
Because the show, I love Clone High so much, because it's so, has such a different sense of humor. I mean, knowing Lord and Miller, it has their kind of sense of humor, but, it's different from any other kind of show I've seen.
It's so quotable, especially for just being 13 episodes long.
Right. And it breaks my heart, how underrated this show was and how early it got canceled. And the fact that I didn't find this out until years after it was canceled, because I was, 12 when it came out.
Yeah, I was watching it in middle school.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I didn't get into MTV's animated stuff till I was, in late high school. I didn't watch Daria till, senior year of high school.
Oh, man, I remember watching Daria a lot when I was a wee tyke.
Yeah.
What?
No, go ahead.
At least in Clone High's case, at least it's I never see anyone talking badly about Clone High. Anytime I see it being talked about, it's always saying how good it is and how underrated it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the badness about Gandhi and got canceled.
Yeah. That's
we'll get
part
into
of
that. Or we can get into it now.
Yeah, well, part of the reason that Clone High got canceled is because a lot of, people who, hold Gandhi in high regard were not too happy about how he was depicted on the show, and MTV got a lot of hate for that.
Yeah, didn't they, start a hunger strike because of it?
I think so.
That's so weird to think that Clone High started a hunger strike.
Yeah.
And it's weird, too, because if you actually pay attention to how Gandhi was, he was kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know that, but he was highly racist.
I mean, that's what I heard.
Actual person. Yeah.
I've never looked too much into the life of actual Gandhi.
And the thing about Gandhi in the show is they straight up say Gandhi did not want to live up to the original Gandhi.
Oh yeah.
He just wanted
that's
to
kind
be
of like a thing
animal.
throughout the show is. Yeah, he says he caves in the first episode.
Yeah.
But it is kind of an interesting theme throughout the whole show, where some of the clones are trying to live up to their historical counterparts, but failing miserably at it because they're teenagers.
Yeah, that's kind of a neat idea. How they're all very well aware that they're clones.
Oh yeah, they know full well that they're clones, because they don't even bother giving them different names. They just literally just name them after their historical figure.
There was one episode where Abe was he was at some ride at an amusement park. I think it's called generic rodent themed amusement park.
Probably, I think so.
And he's on a Splash Mountain / Hall of Presidents hybrid. And there's an Abe Lincoln animatronic, and he's like, "Oh, they really captured my grace."
And that's the thing. I think part of the reason this comedy works is because you've got a lot of good comedians working on this show. I mean, Will Forte is the main character, Abe Lincoln.
Will
you
Forte
got Nicole
is
Sullivan
amazing.
I love Will Forte so much.
He makes Abe for me. His voice is perfect.
Yeah, and I know they're not they're completely different, even though I know they've both been on Arrested Development. I got him and Will Arnett mixed up so much when I was
I used to do that a lot too.
It's like, which one's Will Forte, which one's Will Arnett?
Will Forte's he's done a lot of cartoon work. I was surprised to find out. Like he just like minor roles, but like he was in like Gravity Falls. He was in like Kick Buttowski.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
And then Nicole Sullivan as Joan. Obviously, she's been in a bunch.
She was in Kim Possible.
She was.
Yeah.
What else was she in? I can't really think. Those were like her big roles.
King of Queens is the dog walker.
Wasn't she the mom on Secret Saturdays?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I know that. Why do I know that?
The only other show I remembered that she was in was Penguins of Madagascar, which I don't recall seeing much of.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never watched any of the Madagascar movies either.
Who voiced Gandhi? I don't know his name, but I know he was the robot dad on Invader Zim.
Let's find out, because I have totally Wikipedia.
He was the guy who played Stewart. He was the guy who played Stewart on Mad TV.
Oh, Michael McDonald. Oh, that was Michael McDonald. Wow.
Wait, no.
I did not realize that.
It wasn't Michael. So. It wasn't Michael McDonald, was it?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Is Michael McDonald the guy who played? Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. I'm thinking of he was on Kids in the Hall. He played Pleakley on Lilo and Stitch.
That is someone different. I forget his name.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about though.
Andy Dick was in this show. He was a sheep.
Yeah, he was Mr. Sheep.
Yeah,
he was one of my favorite characters. He was the cop. He's like,
yeah.
Well. If it isn't my old friend, a deranged dream.
Yeah, and there's like a lot.
Is his name Chris McDonald?
That might be
I think that sounds a little more right. But yeah, there's a couple they have celebrity cameos. The best one is because he only has one line in the first episode.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox is Gandhi's spleen or one of his kidneys.
Kevin McDonald.
Kevin McDonald, that's what it is. Yeah, that's the guy. And then there's a whole episode where Jack Black's in it.
Yeah, he's Larry Hardcore.
Hardcore. And quite possibly my favorite cameo of the entire show is where Tom Green comes in to teach kids about ADD.
That's
I just love the.
I think my favorite is in Snowflake Day when they have Mandy Moore, and they never say whether or not she's Mandy Moore, and in the credits, it says Mandy Moore as herself with a question mark.
Yeah, because isn't she like just like a beautiful looking hobo?
Yeah, and Joan always she asks her if she's Mandy Moore, and she always denies it. She's like, "I already said I'm not. Are you stupid or something?"
Because this is back in the day when Mandy Moore was still relevant.
I like Mandy Moore. She's a cute.
No, I'm not saying she's bad. I'm just saying that was like the height of her popularity.
That's true. She's a cutie patootie.
I guess. May Snowflake Jake make you spices upon spices.
Oh man.
So, I guess we should just like talk about like what our history and our good memories with this show are.
Alrighty.
I think my first episode was the film festival.
That's a great one.
I love that one.
The fucking giraffe.
I just love Genghis Khan so much. Just this fucking monster.
Yeah. I just love the whole bit where they're trying to, in the first episode where they're trying to get him to buy beer. Like how many times they have to go in to get him to say he's 21.
Okay,
they even put a sign on it.
They used a very tricky line of question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I honestly think I started watching Clone High. I think Kyle, you might have told me to watch it.
Really?
Wow, you guys have known each other that long?
Kyle and I have known each other for like almost over 10 years.
That's beautiful.
think I might have known you longer, but we were kind of not too close. We knew each other. I don't know.
It's all good. We're all friends now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, Kyle. Maybe it was you, or maybe I just had seen it. But like, I think it was over the summer in high school, and I just like sat down on a weekend and just watched the entire thing. And I'm like, what have I been missing? And then I asked my parents to buy me the box set for Christmas, and they did.
That's exactly what happened to me. And it didn't arrive for like 3 months because it was an import.
Oh no, import from Canada.
Yeah, and I was like, where is it? I want it.
Yeah, because that's kind of weird. Like, it was technically like produced by MTV, but it was also produced by Teletoon, or like by some Canadian company. It was aired on Teletoon.
Yeah, it was an MTV Nelvana co-production. Because I think that was after MTV's in-house animation studio shut down, so they were outsourcing to other studios. So
right, but it's weird because like they aired it as Clone High USA in America.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder why they did.
I have no idea why.
Since it's not like they changed anything.
It doesn't change anything. I think the only thing that happens is they say USA in the theme song.
Yeah, and
this is literally the only thing.
I think the USA version, for Genghis Khan, they put "Screw to Bed" on his shirt.
Why not?
Oh
god.
My history with Clone High, I was there from episode fucking 1. I was there the day it premiered. And I watched it every week it premiered, and MTV was jerking around its time slot. I think
that's true.
For a while it aired in prime time, and then for a few episodes they aired it at like midnight or something, and then they moved it back to like early afternoon. And then like 6 episodes in, they were like, "Okay, that's enough. No more Clone High for you."
Because it was like this was around the time of the VCR still, and I was trying to record them, and I could never find them. And I think the last episode I actually saw was the Raisin episode, because I couldn't catch it anymore.
I think that's the last episode they aired, because the next one was meant to be the one where Joan moved in with Cleo, but that one just never aired. They just stopped right there.
So they pulled a Clerks and just didn't air the second half of the season.
Pretty much. I think I might be wrong, but I think I remember hearing it had aired on Teletoon in its entirety before it even premiered over here in the U.S.
I believe it. I mean, I think Total Drama Island did the same thing.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I think I did start watching this from the beginning, because this is around the time that they started playing 3 South too. And I really liked 3 South.
I think 3 South was a couple. I think it might have been like 1 or 2 years afterwards, after Clone High. I think it was the year after. I think Clone High was 2002 and 3 South was 2003.
Okay.
But still around.
Yeah, things are getting melded together in my brain.
It happens.
Yeah. Can't be perfect all the time.
That whole early 2000s era.
Yeah. I feel like that, like Clone High, I lump it in with a lot of shows from that era, like Mission Hill and The Oblongs, where like
that era where they were throwing like adult animation, just threw whatever stuck.
And none of it did, apparently.
Very few of them got more than 1 season.
Yeah, like Clone High and Mission Hill especially, I felt like shows that probably would have done better had they just been on Adult Swim to begin with.
Yeah. It bums me out.
Like,
they had so much potential.
They did. And I mean, I think we were talking about this off mic, how it annoys me when shows do this. Clone High technically ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off because they've never resolved it.
I swear they did that on purpose, though.
It's
I mean,
funny.
I'm sure they did.
In a recent interview, they talked about what they had planned after that.
Oh.
I've
never heard that.
I think, like, it's been a while since I read it, but I think they said the first episode of a hypothetical second season would have been it just starts at them going to school, like it's the start of a new year. And they ask, what did you do over the summer? And like none of them can remember because they were all frozen. So they were all trying. I think they said the first episode was about them going back and remembering what happened to them.
That's funny.
They also said they had a couple of ideas in mind for how they were going to handle Gandhi's character. Since you know the whole controversy,
right?
One of the ideas was to just flat out write him off. The other idea was to say that he was never a clone of Gandhi to begin with.
Some guy.
The label on his jar was like smudged or something, and he was actually a clone of Gary Coleman. So throughout the rest of the series, they would just call him Gary instead of Gandhi.
That's hilarious.
I think that would have been much better because I think that would have been much better. I don't want the show without Gandhi coming back.
Was Gary Coleman dead around that time?
No, this was
I don't think he was dead
died.
yet.
Okay.
So I don't know how that would fly now. Maybe it would fly better because I mean all the other clones are clones of dead people.
Yeah. I don't think there was a single alive person.
Well, I was
clone
thinking
on
like
there.
with not necessarily in that sense, but like when they were doing House of Cosby's and shit, they got like cease and desist from the Cosby estate. Don't do this anymore. So I wonder if they would have done it with Gary Coleman.
That's
that
true.
would have happened too.
They probably would have had to get something in writing.
Right. But
So,
yeah.
How do you guys want to do this? Should we talk about like each individual episode and just favorite parts?
I guess we can just talk about like what our favorite episodes are. Don't have to do them in any specific order.
All right.
That
sounds good. I mean, all of them are my favorite episodes.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's not really a bad episode in the bunch.
Honestly, I would say maybe the first episode is probably the weakest, but you know they're still trying to figure out the characters and the humor and stuff. It still has plenty of like good, funny jokes in it.
Oh no, like
the pool, they flipped the bitch.
They flipped the bitch.
Those lovable scamps, they're rioting at a college level.
Principal Scudworth is the best character.
And they let you know that. They tell you that in the show. Your favorite character is Principal Scudworth.
Because, like, it establishes his character so quickly where he's talking to the shadowy figure and he just has a drawer for paper pirate bats. He's like... What was the thing he says about his tie?
He says, "My having a robot butler is no more eccentric than that tie you're wearing." And then he looks down. And he's not wearing a tie.
He just looks down. He's like, "What?" He's like, we fear you may be completely insane. He just takes a paper pirate hat off and has a complete drawer full of them.
I love in I think it's also that Riot Film Fest episode. He's talking to the shadowy figures, and he just turns away from them and says, "Little do they know I have my own plans for these clones. Plans that don't involve these shadowy figures at all." He says, "You're talking in a normal indoor speaking voice." So I am.
I am.
Little do they know I have my own plans.
Oh god. I love the I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do love the snow. It's the what's their winter
Snowflake
holiday
Day.
episode?
That one
Snowflake
is my favorite episode. Anytime I think about what my favorite episode is, that one comes to mind.
I just love how they're trying to market the Nork.
I love it.
Just keep slicing his face off.
Hey, why you bleeding, dog? Well, the knife portion seems to have sliced open my cheek. He's just bleeding everywhere.
Like the one where they dress him up as an old lady.
Oh yeah.
What was the one where they had like a school mascot and he was like a genetically modified?
Oh, Geshy. That was the basketball one where Joan joined the boys basketball team.
She just puts on a hat and a mustache.
And JFK was questioning his sexuality.
His sexuality.
His gay dads.
You ever see Three's Company? It's kind of like that, except more gay.
That
I just like I like that where they steal the mascot and then they like, all right, let's get the zipper, and then his organs fall out.
I said, take it off, you foreigner.
Yeah. And then he's just screaming, and then he's like, oh my god, who's driving the van?
And then Gandhi and Geshi become best friends.
Yeah.
I love when it shows them on the bike, and it shows Gandhi, it shows Geshi, and then it shows Gandhi again.
Does that even work?
I don't know how many people listening to this will get these jokes we're saying, but everyone go watch Clone High. It's a wonderful show.
I hope our ramblings will entice you to go watch it if you haven't already.
It's very funny.
I mean, obviously, we're getting a good laugh out of just shooting this shit.
Yeah, seriously. I could quote Clone High till the cows come home.
Yeah. We were even doing that with SpongeBob earlier. We're just sitting around for like an hour.
Yeah.
Man, looking at it right now, Neil Flynn was a lot of people in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was Caesar, he was Moses, Buddy Holly.
I was watching the again, it's the ADD episode, which I think actually might be my favorite, just because of all the stupid shit. And I love that they have Jesus as like this Mexican carpenter.
Oh yeah, Jesus Cristo.
He's Jesus Cristo.
Be careful with that nail gun, Jesus.
Which is weird because, like, for the longest time, whenever I'm jokingly saying Jesus Christ, I'll just say Jesus Cristo. And we were watching the episode the other day, I was like, oh, that's why I say that.
It's fun to say.
You were saying on Twitter the other day that you couldn't figure out your favorite quote. Like, I just love that, where it's talking about there's nothing in the rule book.
It says a giraffe can't play football.
Yeah. Love that so much. That whole sequence where she's like, giraffe, I have your baby.
I love when it shows him holding a flag and he just says, he's going home.
Yeah.
How did they even get a giraffe for the movie?
Yeah, Abe really went all out for his movie.
They kicked the football and she's just like, I love you.
Airbud would have been way better if it was about a giraffe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, black and tan.
Yeah, black and tan. Say what?
Say what?
His little peanut mascot.
I love how the Peanut's really into his role. Last one there's a rotten huevo.
Peanut arms. Like he's he has like an old-timey accent.
I think he says something like, she kissed me on my left nut.
She kissed me on my left nut.
Like
salty.
Even though I feel like the first episode isn't quite as good, it still just has so many great lines. Like,
yeah,
I forget.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forget what Abe's talking about, but Joan just says, "Abe, I want you." And Abe says, "You want me to what?" Forgot what you were gonna say. Happens to me all the time.
I think he was talking about like he wishes women would just like say what they want.
Oh yeah.
Or something along those lines. Just like, Abe, I want you. I just love her entire through line to that entire episode is her trying to like. He's like, I'm gonna date a lot this year. He's like, wouldn't it be just easier to date a friend? He's like, no.
Nope, Cleo. Only Cleo.
Only Cleo. And I just love her like. He's like leaning against the glass and his arm goes through it and he's not moving because it's like, I'll weep you over by the gods.
Yeah, like he's too shy to talk to Cleo when she's there. And then
when she leaves, he just says every response to her question.
Why, yes, these are longer sideburns.
I always thought the Scantron sounded like Strong Bad a bit.
He does.
Scan grade the Magnificent.
Yeah.
And he always said, "Infidels."
Oh. I think I was trying to think of one, and I think if there was an episode that like I still like, but like is probably my least favorite, is probably the rock opera episode, if only because I really don't like musical episodes.
Oh, I was gonna say that's probably my second favorite, at least up there. I love those songs.
Yeah.
But I can see where you're coming from.
Well, just for me personally, I really don't like when any show breaks it, like decides they're gonna do a musical episode. Like, I understand,
Like Daria.
that this show, especially the Daria episode. I don't
that
like the
one.
musical. I don't like the musical episode of Daria. Mostly because, especially for these TV, for these cartoons, when they do musical episodes, the songs really aren't that good. They're just like kind of like half-assed things they can rattle off in a minute. Clone High does it pretty well.
I love the ones in Clone High, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I love Clone High. Maybe I'm blinded.
Yeah. I'm probably just blinded from my like
Dislike for musicals.
Yeah, there you go.
What about the Powerpuff Girls one?
I don't remember that one. That might have been. Was that like one of the last few episodes?
Yeah, it was like the one that never aired in the U.S. because it was about a cult leader.
Oh right, yeah. I stopped watching the Powerpuff Girls pretty much after the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of where it didn't get like awful, but it did kind of have a drop in quality.
Is that the one with Jack Black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was Jess Harnell, but he was meant to sound like Jack Black. I think Craig said they wanted him, but that was around the time that he was getting like really big, so they couldn't afford him.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's really sad. I thought that was actually Jack Black.
Yeah, for the longest time everyone was saying, yeah, that's the episode with Jack Black, but it wasn't. But Jess Harnell's cool too.
Yeah.
I guess that's good, because if it fooled that many people...
Yeah, seriously, it's a good impression.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. Wikipedia says it's Jack Black.
Yeah, but I mean, anyone can change Wikipedia.
I guess that's true.
Because the credits for the episode say Jess Harnell.
All right. Fine.
Yes, I win. I win this one. Everyone bow down to me. I'm running this show now.
Okay. All right, you can take over. Fine. I'll just leave.
No, never mind. I don't want it. It's easy. It's easier being a guest.
You don't have to edit this later.
Yeah, I don't have to actually do anything.
Like the makeover episode too.
Makeover.
Like 5 times.
Yeah.
Just repeat the fucking song over and over again.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Makeover. I love when Toots, Joan of Arc's foster grandpa, does it, and since he's blind, there's stuff like
awful.
Yeah, she has like a football helmet and like car tires on her.
Cyborg guy.
Oh yeah.
See, that's another episode that like Donald Faison did like so many characters, and that was another one.
Like, now I may be blind.
Now I may be blind.
He starts every sentence that way.
That's my I'm not one for memes and reaction pictures, but my absolute favorite one is it's Toots and it says, "Now I may be blind, but I still see what you did there."
Yeah, like all these quotes, like it's so hard to describe like what the sense of humor for this show is.
Yeah, I have no idea how I would describe it other than it's hilarious.
It's pretty irreverent. It's pretty dry. It's really quirky. Like, it's really smart too.
It's a mix of really smart jokes, really stupid jokes, really dry jokes, really just flat out obvious jokes. It's just everything.
It's all the smartest dumb jokes you'll ever hear.
Exactly. One of my favorite lines is in the second episode with the school election when Principal Scudworth and Mr. B get rich by selling out the school. And Scudworth says, I watched the first 2/3 of the MC Hammer behind the music, and if I've learned anything, it's that money never runs out.
I just like how by the end of the episode they just end up electing a dog.
Yeah, President Dog.
President Dog.
For the longest time, that was my YouTube handle.
President Dog.
Yeah, I think it was like Pres Dog or something, and it was an icon of President Dog.
That's amazing.
This is like early or like mid 2000s. That takes me back.
You let him poop on your lawn.
I bet you let him poop on your backyard too. Oh,
there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on between me and President Dog.
This whole thing is just gonna be like, oh, that reminds me of this line. Oh, that reminds me of that. Because that reminds me of one of my favorite lines in that episode when Cleo she puts the poster for the awareness fair over Joan, and she says, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. And JFK says, I did, but I didn't say anything.
The theme for the awareness fair is awareness.
That is a good theme.
What was the thing where he just kept going back into the bathroom to wash his hands or something?
Oh, because
yeah.
it's like...
I will see you
like
there.
You're not coming to...
And by will, I mean won't.
Won't. At the party.
I will...
Forgot to wash my hands.
Because you're not. Invited, that is. To my party! He just keeps coming in and out.
What if you tell him you meant to get the beers? That makes no sense.
This is the best party ever! Thanks, Gandhi!
He just has some fucking half-naked model with him. I'd go to a beard party. That'd be rad.
I would too. Hey, everybody, it's me, Abe. Hey, everybody, it's a keg of beer. Hooray!
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
I was thinking about it earlier today. Would a girl like Cleo ever realistically go out with someone like Abe, so tall and gangly and goofy?
Probably not.
It's kind of hard to say because like everyone is like such an exaggerated stereotype.
Yeah, it's one of those things like I don't feel like that would ever happen, but it also doesn't come across like Cleo has like, other reasons for dating him. Like it doesn't feel like she's dating him out of like to make someone jealous or some ulterior motives.
Well, I'll just answer your question by saying if my high school experience is anything to go off of, then yeah, she probably wouldn't.
I know from experience.
Well, no, it's just like, girls like that don't go for the normal kind of dudes. I mean,
no
honestly,
need to
like
tell
the
me.
whole like honestly the whole thing of like Abe and Joan getting together, it seems way more plausible.
Yeah.
Cuz like that you like when you're in high school, you just date your best friends. That's just kind of what you do.
I like how Abe is just completely oblivious to it no matter how obvious he tries to make it. Like in the prom episode when Abe's trying to get her a prom date and she's like, no, Abe, I don't want a prom date. I just want you. And Abe says, to get you a prom date, I'm already 2 to 3 steps ahead of you.
I love that he's an idiot.
Yeah, I feel like that is what makes Abe work, because otherwise he would be just as much of an asshole, I feel like.
Yeah, but
it's because he's so stupid and naive.
He has like an innocence about him where it's like you can't fault him for like half the shit that happens to him because he's just so stupid.
Exactly. It's like
but he means well.
It's like in one of the Next Time on Clone High segments, they're saying how everyone's getting a makeover, and they say, and old Abe stays the same, lovable.
Pretty much. And I love that's even Will Forte doing all of those.
Yeah, Pun Dog, his friends call him. He said, my friends call me Pun Dog.
I didn't get a screener for the next episode because the guy at work totally hates me.
If he does something to get me fired, I'm gonna kill his dog.
And that's the thing, like this show is very much it's very much a parody of like all those teen dramas that were popular around that time, like Dawson's Creek and all that stuff. Like they even make a Dawson's Creek joke in the first episode.
Kind of gives me Archie vibes too.
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah,
bit.
just that general teenage drama.
Love triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that, and like all the teen movies that came out around the late '90s. It's taking a kind of a crack out of that.
I like how
I haven't got a single high five since I've been here.
Everyone's high fiving under the table. But no, yeah, like even straight down to the whole thing where every single episode is a very special episode. And no matter what happening, it's like on a very special format. Like it's a drug PSA episode.
Well, technically, one episode was a very special episode because it started with a. This episode of Clone High is for mature audiences.
Is it the one where Ponce dies?
Yeah, Ponce. Everyone's favorite regular character.
Ponce was like a son to me.
one episode.
Yeah, I love how they said, this is not some dumb stunt where we introduce a new character just to kill him off. A clone dies tonight. And then it just shows him, like, smiling at the camera. And I love how they make it obvious that he's gonna die. He's like, well, see you guys, and if I never see you again, goodbye and have a wonderful life. And Abe says, why do you always say that, Ponce?
Isn't it Luke? I think isn't he voiced by Luke
Perry?
Yeah,
voiced by Luke Perry. Wasn't he in one of those like teen drama shows?
Melrose Place?
Like
I think so.
Party of Five or something.
He was on Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, that's probably it.
Yeah. Fucking Luke. God, Luke Perry does not look well. He's got like a beard.
He doesn't look too
he's
bad.
He's 50 years old.
Yeah, he doesn't look too bad
Holy
considering
shit.
his age.
He stayed steady for like 20 years, man.
Yeah.
How is he 50 though?
Yeah. He played
Damn.
teenagers from his 20s to like 30s.
Yeah. God damn it.
Well, it's sad because they keep talking about revival and stuff, and it would be great, but I don't know.
What,
Yeah,
revival
I mean-
of Clone High?
Yeah, I keep hearing stuff where they're like, we're thinking about it, but maybe not.
Yeah, it's like, would Clone High really work in this day and age? Those kind of shows that it parodies aren't really around anymore.
I think just with the characters and the style of writing,
Yeah.
I think if you reintroduced it to Adult Swim, I think it would work really well.
Its humor
Yeah.
and characters are so good that it could stand on its own regardless.
Yeah, and especially now that Lord and Miller are really well established with the media, like as soon as their name is slapped on something, people are gonna watch it.
Yeah, I wonder why MTV hasn't just come to them with Clone High on a silver platter. But last I heard, I think the rights with Clone High are kind of a mess.
Yeah, because it's like a dual a dual production like that.
Yeah.
I remember hearing they were contemplating about doing a movie.
I would
there was
love.
going to be a revival.
See, that's the thing. I as much as I would love it to come back, I really wish it would not be in a movie form because I don't think Clone High works in a long format like that.
That's kind of
like,
true.
I think it works for these short 20-minute stories
where each episode kind of has its own theme to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's like a little because throughout the season there's a little bit of carryover, but there's not a lot.
Yeah, just like
But if
small things like, Abe and Cleo dating.
Right. And like because you have the episode, you can kind of break up you can break up the humor and like you have this contained little story and like you can write jokes for that. But with a movie, you're trying to keep that feeling for like an hour and a half at least, just all the way through. And I just like don't know if it'd be able to keep up the level of humor that it does in a 22-minute episode through an entire movie.
That's kind of true. I was thinking about there was a cartoon to movie that I was thinking about, like this exact thing with. I think it might have been the second SpongeBob movie where, like, I liked it, but it did just feel like a longer episode.
It did, yeah, and that's part of my problem with this is getting way off topic, but my problem with when you adapt cartoons to longer format is just like a lot of them just don't lend themselves well and just end up feeling a long, strung out episode.
Yeah, and sometimes it works, but
right. Like I think I even commented on your thing on Twitter. Like the Powerpuff Girls movie works great as a movie.
Yeah.
Because they upped the animation style, they had a story that was worth telling.
Yeah.
Over a longer period. And I even think, as much as I really don't like the songs in it anymore, I think the Rugrats movie works really well. Because they upped the animation style. They got a story that wouldn't work for a standard episode.
Are you saying you don't like Yo Ho Ho and a Bottle of Yum?
I don't. I used to. I think I have the soundtrack to both that and Rugrats in Paris somewhere in my parents' house. But no, it's funny because like a year or two ago, I sat down and rewatched the Rugrats movie, and I fast forwarded through all of the songs, and it's like a 45-minute movie without the songs.
I want to watch it again. I think it's at the store. I think they sell it at the store for like $3.
Oh yeah, you can get it for nothing. I will say that Rugrats in Paris is the better movie, though.
That's what I remember too.
If only for the giant robot fight at the end.
Get that hot Asian wife.
He does get a hot Asian wife.
I'm sure everyone went out and saw the Wild Thornberrys movie, right? Right?
I've seen it. I didn't go to theaters to watch it, though.
Was it any good?
It was one of those where like the animation quality was great. It was the same quality as their other movies, but it felt like a really long episode of Rugrats with, hey, the Wild Thornberrys are also in this.
Tim Curry's in that movie.
That's
and
true.
so is Bruce Willis.
Oh no, I was talking about just the regular Wild Thornberrys movie. But I forgot they did. I forgot they did the Rugrats Wild Thornberrys crossover,
which baffles me why that needed to be a thing.
Just cross over all of them.
The Wild Thornberrys movie was pretty good from what I remember. I haven't watched it in years.
I hate the Wild Thornberrys. So just getting a longer Wild Thornberrys episode sounds like torture.
Worse.
But there's a Real Big Fish song in that movie.
Oh, don't tell me
That's
that.
The one. They have a music video and everything.
Don't tell me that. Now I'm gonna have to watch it.
They're just covering Monkey Man.
Oh.
It's on their cover album.
I was gonna say Real Big Fish does really good covers. At least the ones I've heard.
I will say
Take on Me.
That I will say we had a TV system, like a news broadcast that went out before homeroom every day in high school, and they played their version of Take On Me during the news broadcast, and my homeroom teacher just looks up and is like, God damn it, they ruined that song. I'll never forget that.
This is
Pitbull ruined that song.
Oh really? Did Pitbull do a cover of it?
I think, was it him and Christina Aguilera or something? Like,
that's a sign of quality right there.
Beat.
I haven't
Probably.
heard
They just
it.
like sampled it, and it's like, really?
Oh.
It's obvious what that is.
This is getting really off track, but it's fine, whatever. Have you guys heard the Save Ferris cover of
Come On, Eileen?
Yeah, that one.
I do like their cover of that.
I love that one. I'm not a fan of the original version, but I love that one.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's like so much more upbeat than the other version is.
Yeah, I'm a huge ska fan, or kind of a budding ska fan. I don't know a lot of it, but I love the ones I've heard. And I love that
Yeah, we
one.
can be friends.
Hooray! but back to...
I have a... Oh.
No,
I
was going to move things back, but you go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I have a love-hate relationship with ska, because it's like, I do like the way it sounds, but to me, every band sounds the same.
Yeah,
that's true.
I will say, yeah, it's really hard to get some variation. Like a lot of bands sound like Real Big Fish.
I think the thing I'd say about that is, if they all sound the same, at least they all sound good.
Yeah. It's varying qualities. Is like,
yeah.
At what point, like, just kind of get generic. And even Real Big Fish, like their latest couple of albums, it's kind of been like, eh.
That's what I've heard. And when I say I like Real Big Fish, what I mean is I've only heard like their first two albums.
Yeah. I think all the albums before the Monkeys for Nothing album are pretty much all the good ones. I think the I don't remember what they're called. Anyway,
last thought. I really like the Kablam theme song.
Yeah.
Oh, the Two-Tone Army.
Yeah, I like that song.
They got me into like that whole band. They're great.
The Toasters.
Yeah.
I honestly thought about making that our new theme song the other day.
Don't let the bastards grind you down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just sorry to keep going off topic, but since it was brought up, let me just say I fucking love Kablam.
Kablam was the best.
Miz
and Fondue. That should have been a thing.
We might have been talking about this on the last episode. I honestly don't remember, but I think it'd be great if they brought Kablam back, but made it like a indie artist showcase instead.
Be wonderful.
Like every week, if there's like no recurring segment, it's just every week is like, okay, we got 5 shorts, go.
I think that would be a great way to introduce kids to, all sorts of different artists and
yeah.
I just love anthologies.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many like really good internet artists there. Like Nick could just scour the internet and like, hey, we like your stuff. Make us a 5-minute short or like a 2 or 3 minute short, and we'll put it on Kablam.
I think that's perfect because I mean they had stuff like cartoons and stuff like that where it was like animation from different artists and stuff. But I feel like having just a series of shorts done for it, framed by like Henry and June introducing the cartoons. I feel like that could really work.
Oh, definitely.
And
I think it could work really well.
There's a store at the mall here called Shapiro, and anytime I walk by it, I just think of Sniz and Fondue, and then saying Shapiro, and then they get the big teardrop.
Oh God.
But
so yeah, Clone High is cool.
This is not a Kablam episode, so.
Well, I could certainly do one of those.
Oh,
so about
definitely.
Free bacon.
I hear it's for Scudworths.
I will say, like, that the episode with the... What was the context of the episode with the skunk?
You
got crabs, bitch.
The context was just, we want to have Principal Scudworth and Looney Tunes type shenanigans.
Well, no, the Scudworth and the skunk was like the B plot. I forget what the A plot.
The A plot was when Cleo was accepted to be on Ashley Angel from O-Town.
Oh yeah, because like if there's anything that's dated, like completely utterly dated in the show, is the fact they bring O-Town into this. Like, does anyone remember O-Town?
I remember that era of MTV Spring Break.
Yeah, and Total Request Live, all that shit.
Yeah.
I think it's like one of the first thing Gandhi says to Cleopatra. He says, "Cleopatra, coming at you." That's like super true. Fucking dated.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of
there's
other
some
things
dated stuff, but I feel like it holds up despite it. I don't think there's so much.
It reminds you of a different time.
Yeah,
it does actually.
It's not like Family Guy where it's just full of references that'll be dated
immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like watching shows like this and like around this area like this and like Daria and all those other WB shows that kind of went the way. Cause like I always was kind of bummed that like I feel like I should have been born like 5 years earlier so I could have appreciated these shows when they were around.
You really should have been born 5 years earlier, you asshole.
Hey, blame my parents.
I was born in the 90s.
I was born in...
You should feel so ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
I can't be born in the 80s like the cool kids.
80s kid right here.
Me too. I mean, right on the cusp of the 80s.
Yeah. Class of 89.
I was born in 88, so technically I'm an 80s kid, but I don't remember anything about them, so.
Yeah. That's it's the thing with what defines you as a '90s kid.
Yeah, when I say
like I only remember like from 96, 97 on. Like that's about when my memory starts.
Yeah, my memory starts with those very first Nicktoons: Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy.
And see, I remember watching all of those like old episodes of those, but like I probably wasn't like aware when those first aired because they aired in '91 and I was born in '91.
Yeah, you were a weak type.
I remember like Gumby and Tintin and Inspector Gadget and stuff.
Back when Nick was just a dumping ground for whatever they could get their hands on.
Yeah,
like Inspector Gadget. That shit was on in the morning and it was great.
Yeah.
I love those. If you watch them, they're so anime.
Yeah, I get that. Like Inspector Gadget and Heathcliff.
Yes.
Well,
Heathcliff
didn't they
is
like
so anime looking?
Yeah.
Well, didn't they like ship them off to like Japanese studios?
Yeah.
Even
I
like the
guess that
Ninja
makes
Turtles
sense.
theme.
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles theme is straight up anime.
Yeah. And then TMS are in Japan too, and they did like all the best looking Animaniacs episodes and Tiny Toons episodes.
And it's really weird because you could notice which ones they animated and which ones they didn't.
I feel like they always gave their best episodes to them, and they always knew which episodes were their not as great ones because they always gave them the not great animation studios.
Because it's so sad watching the episodes like the TMS that actually animated because they're so fluid and so like fast paced, and all the other episodes just seem so stiff by comparison.
Do you guys remember Kennedy Animation Studios?
No.
I've heard of it. I've seen like the breakdown of what everything looked like.
You know have you guys seen A Pup Named Scooby Doo?
Yeah.
You know those dance cycles?
Oh yeah.
They're in every single show that Kennedy Animation does. Like their Tiny Toons episodes, the characters dance the exact same way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
They're horrible.
That's weird.
Tiny Toons is the reason why I know they might be giants.
Yeah, same here.
That was going around on Tumblr yesterday.
Was it really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I love They Might Be Giants, and it's all thanks to Tiny Toons and Homestar Runner.
Yeah.
And interesting enough, even though this is super off topic again, but I used to record it on VHS all the time, and they had like commercials for albums, and it was the Presidents of the United States Peaches album.
I was just listening to that song the other day. It's fun.
I love it. In the music video, they have ninjas attack them for no reason.
Just because it's cool.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about the Peaches song is anytime I think of it, I think of when Hank Hill plays it in King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah. That is a guitar.
He just has a guitar. Yeah. Going through the country.
That's amazing. That was a good impression. But he's like, I don't really know those chords, but I can fake it.
But, getting back to Clone High, who would you guys say are your favorite characters?
I really like
that's
Abe
a
a
hard
lot.
one.
Design-wise, the way he talks, everything. I like his character.
It's funny, for the longest time, I remember thinking that Clone High was made by the creator of,
Sheep in the Big City?
not Sheep in the Big City, but Time Squad. That's it. Because
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
they kind of had.
I can see that.
It kind of sort of had the same design style. I think Tud Russell had like the same nose Abe had, and it deals with historical figures. So I thought, yep, that's it.
Oh, shit. That's pretty
after
smart.
After the fact, I always wondered if like some of the character designers from Clone High moved on to Total Drama Island, because I always felt like it has the same kind of angular character design that Clone High had.
I think the creators of Total Drama said that they were directly inspired by Clone High. I could be wrong, but I think I remember seeing that.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it kind of feels like they did, because they kind of went with like the teenage stereotypes, and they even like got a few things that American censors probably wouldn't normally let you do.
How do you guys feel about that Clone High total drama art style?
Hit and miss.
Yeah, it really depends.
Yeah.
Like, I like it because it's like, it's easy, but at the same time very kind of nuanced the way it's done.
It's very
like,
stylized.
It's very stylized.
I don't quite like the Picasso face where the two eyes are on the same side.
Yeah, and the
But
nose is on the side of their head.
Yeah, but I did like Sheep in the Big City did that a lot, and I do like Mo Weems stuff.
Yeah, maybe it just depends on the show, because, like, I feel like it works when Clone High does it. Like, Gandhi has the eyes on the side and nose on the side thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's some other shows made by the Total Drama creators where it doesn't look as good. I feel like it works fine in Total Drama. I feel like it's really expressive and it looks good, but then they have some other shows where it just kind of looks lazy, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it works for Total Drama because it's animated in Flash, and I think those character designs lend well to basically being puppet animated.
Yeah.
I don't like the puppet stuff.
I don't...
Which is all I'm doing at work right now.
I don't mind it so much. Like, I think it's kind of lame, but I feel like they do a lot with Total Drama's, like, expressions and stuff that they can still get enough out of it to kind of sort of make up for it. I don't think Total Drama is, like, an amazing show, but I think it's good enough for what it is.
I like the first 2 seasons of it, and then I kind of fell off after that.
It's very hit and miss. The first season's great. Second season is not as great, but still fun.
And then the third season they turned it into a musical.
Yeah,
and I
can
it.
see why you would hate that one. I thought it was pretty good.
I hated it so bad. I tried. I really did. I tried to power through it, and I got about 5 episodes in, and I'm like, nope.
That's understandable.
These songs are awful.
The most recent season was actually really good. It was a lot of fun. They were mixing up the formula with it. It was more like an Amazing Race thing, where they partnered up, like, they did, like, 2 character teams, like, and they got a lot of good character interaction out of them. So that was really good.
The cop one?
Yeah, there was a team of, like, police cadets. There was a team of, like, rockers. There was, like, a father-son team.
Bieber and Son.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, looping back around to like the art style thing, like for Clone High, I think it works really well for them to have such a kind of a simple style because I was kind of reading that they kind of kept it simpler because they had a smaller budget to work with and their animation quality wasn't that great.
That makes sense.
I mean, it kind of forced them to, focus more on the script and a lot more of the jokes, make it, really polish that stuff. But I think it works really good for Clone High to have such a simple style because I think it allows them to be, kind of ironically, more expressive with a lot of the character poses and stuff.
Yeah. I remember one thing they said in an interview was, and this isn't like directly related to the art style, but it just reminded me of it. They were talking about comedic timing, and like, I think one of their things was talking about how gags needed to be like really fast. Like, I think the example they used was if, say, like Daffy Duck or someone got hit on the head with an anvil, it's funnier if it happens like really fast.
Oh,
it's funnier. It's funnier the less you linger on it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the perfect examples of this is like in the first 2 minutes of the show, in the first episode, is when they're walking to school and Gandhi keeps making jokes about Joan's boobs.
Was it press?
And they just standing there staring at it, and just out of nowhere, she just punches him right in the face.
Yeah, she says,
"You were thinking it." I was.
Yes,
and it just comes out of nowhere. And even like all the times where Abe's walking around, he just hits his head on something, he just falls down and gets right back up.
And then he says "dinger," his catchphrase.
Yeah. And so I definitely agree, and I think Clone High has a great sense of timing where a lot of the jokes happen like in a split second, and they don't a lot of times there's no real build up to it. It just happens, and they keep going.
Exactly.
And it's great for what they're going for.
Yeah, I like how they're not like I like how they don't spell out a bunch of jokes for you. Like I remember
no.
in the basketball episode,
My
Scudworth.
mic's not plugged into anything.
Oh, whoops. Oh no! I thought you were being for real. And I was like,
Oh no! It's like I'm just talking into my fist.
oh yeah, I've been talking into my fist for 5 minutes. And like, there's one part where Scudworth becomes their new coach, and you don't see it happen, but you just hear this blood-curdling scream, and then Scudworth comes in with blood all over his gloves, and he says, "As your new coach."
Yeah, it's just shit like that, man.
Oh, one of my favorite. That episode has tons of my favorite lines, like
Yeah.
when Scudworth is talking to Abe, and he says, "Abe, we're all counting on you to give the ball to Doc. He's shooting the free throws." Oh, did you think that I meant that you? No. And like when Abe's giving his speech at the end, once Jones revealed it's her, and Abe says, "I'll admit, it's weird for Joan to want to play. I mean, think of it. A girl playing basketball," and then the whole auditorium just has like an uproarious laughter for like 10 seconds.
Oh my god. I completely forgot about that bit. That's amazing.
I have no idea who my favorite character is. It changes so much because they're all so good.
Yeah, like I think every character, every major character gets like a chance to
really
show up.
shine.
Like, I actually think Scudworth's probably my favorite, just because I think he gets a lot of like the crazy shit to do.
Yeah, Scudworth's great. Abe's great. JFK's great. Jones great. Gandhi's great. All of them.
Yeah. And like, yeah.
I love when Scudworth gets amnesia in one of the in like the second to last episode. He has no idea who he is, and he just looks down and he says, "Was I doing dishes?" And he looks at his gloves. And then his memory all comes back to him when he's reminded about John Stamos.
John Stamos!
Stamos! Damn his jet black hair and winning smile!
The John Stamos is just himself is actually in the last episode.
Yeah. I love when he calls up Scudworth to rub it in. And Scudworth's all pissed off. "He calls me every year!" And then he picks up, "John, good to hear from you. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, you won all right."
But yes, Clone High is a beautiful thing, and if you haven't watched it, by God, please do that.
Go watch it, or I'll be very angry at you.
Oh,
don't want that.
Every time I go back and rewatch it, I hope I still think this is funny. I hope it doesn't like wear off or something, and then just nope. Every time I watch it, it's still just as funny as ever.
And honestly, I think I was rewatching a couple episodes the other day. I found myself laughing at like different jokes than I normally would. So I think it's one of those things where you catch something different every time you watch it.
Like I said, there's so many subtle jokes that sometimes you'll just catch ones that you never caught before. Like I think
because
there's one where the episode where Gandhi's arrested and he's thrown in the prison showers and he thinks they're all gonna rape him. But then his initiation was just them throwing him up in the air and saying, "Hip hip hooray!" But he says, like, "I was really worried at first." And then they said, "Damn, boy, what do you think we were going to do? Make love to you?" And then they're all laughing, except for one guy who's deathly serious.
But I think now that we're, like, more familiar with Lord Miller's kind of stuff, knowing that, like, you can go back and watch these episodes and, like, catch something else to laugh at is kind of like their style, because I know watching the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie, like, every time I go back and watch, I would catch, like, at least a handful of other jokes I missed the first time.
Yeah. Have either of you guys seen their live-action show on Fox, Last Man on Earth?
I have not.
No,
that also
I've
has
heard
Will
of it.
Forte.
Yeah,
in it, though.
Will Forte in the starring role. Will Forte's in like everything they do. He was in
They
Clone
love him.
High. He was in the Lego movie. He was in...
He was in the Lego movie.
Yeah, as Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, as Abe Lincoln, which I think was a subtle joke.
Yeah. And then he was in Cloudy. I don't know. I never saw 21 Jump Street. Was that any good? I heard it was good.
I thought both the 21 Jump Street movies were hilarious. I don't know if he's in the movies though.
Yeah, I heard they were great.
I don't remember.
I'll have to see him sometime.
It made me realize that Channing Tatum could be funny with the right direction.
Damn.
It just depends on who's there.
Yeah, and then obviously Son of Zorn got canceled, and I think Will Forte was on there once.
Of course he was.
Yeah, I think he might have been a voice for something. I don't really remember. It's been a while. So yeah, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we wrap this up?
Well, Kyle, were you about to say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to say something?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
Jesus.
No, what are you thinking? Don't be stupid.
Jesus Christo.
But I think, yeah, if I had to choose a favorite episode, I think Snowflake Day is the one that comes to mind. And I love how they just have all these stupid new traditions for it, like Snowflake. It's just not Snowflake Day without a lamb taco.
Lamb taco.
Oh, that episode just has so many great lines, and like Abe saying how he's gonna get Cleo the best Snowflake Day gift ever, and Joan says a clamp to keep her legs shut, and Abe just says no, even better than that.
He's so innocent.
He's just so optimistic. And like later in the episode when he and Cleo are fighting, and he says, "I guess you're not the person I thought you were. I'm gonna go get some bite-sized wieners now." And then he goes, "Bite-sized wieners!"
I love Will Forte so much. He's a treasure.
Yeah. And oh man, Clone High. It's a good one. It's a good show.
It's a good.
Like if there was any one MTV show I would want to have its own podcast episode, I'm glad it's Clone High.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's so
and,
even though it's so short-lived.
It's a good one, and it deserves to be talked about.
Yeah, maybe this is better to save to get into on the other MTV animation episodes. But I was thinking about how MTV only had like 3 animated shows that lived past one season. There was Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch, and all of the other ones were just one-season wonders.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, The Head had 2 seasons, but I think the second season was like really short. I could be wrong.
I've never seen The Head.
Neil Patrick Harris, Spider-Man?
Oh god, I forgot about that.
I did too. Was he Spider-Man in that?
Yeah.
I forgot all about that show.
And the only reason I know that is because I had to go look it up after the Spider-Man game that had a bunch, like 4 different Spider-Mans, and he was one of them.
The only reason I knew
had 1 season.
The only reason I knew that is because Kyle just said it just now.
There you go.
It only had 1 season. I kind of dug its style.
It looked like it was trying something different.
It was really early CG.
I loved its style, but seeing it animated is another story.
Yeah, it's good for a still shot. It's real janky.
Yeah.
It's at least not reboot era CGI.
It's like barely a step above that.
Yeah, they're making progress at least.
They're working on it. They'll get there eventually. But so yeah, guys, please go watch Clone High if you haven't. You can buy the DVDs off Amazon, I'm sure.
Go watch it, and then do your best JFK impressions. He says, "For supper, I would like a party platter."
I forgot there's an episode, the Snowflake one, Snowflake Jake episode. He's making a fucking Christmas album.
Yeah, it's JFK sings the Snowflake Day hits.
I love the Jeff Foxworthy redneck Christmas song.
Yeah, and there's like, away in a taco, no spice for my lamb.
What?
And then at the end of the commercial, it's like, more brandy, dear. No thanks, I'm pregnant. I like how that episode had so many different plots going on in it. It was like Abe and Gandhi, and then there was Joan trying to get into the Snowflake Day, or sabotage Snowflake Day. There was Snowflake Jake.
Oh god, yeah, it's there's so much. It's all great. Man. Please, yes, for the millionth time, everybody, go do it.
I mean, I could go on.
Stop listening to this podcast.
I could go on for hours and hours, but I don't want this to just go on forever. Just saying, I don't want to recite the whole series.
I mean, we could. We'll just do a live read of the entire show.
And then Marilyn Manson was himself.
Oh yeah,
he was.
I love that song.
He taught kids about the food pyramid.
I love when celebrity guest stars are used in funny or ironic ways like that.
Yeah, because you think he would come on and be like this scary guy, and he's like, no, he's completely normal. But he's still dressed like his crazy stage performance.
Yeah,
whatever. Jesus.
He has the one eyeball too.
I wonder how he is in real life. I've never met him.
I've seen interviews with him. He seems pretty normal.
A pretty down to earth person.
Weird. He dated my aunt.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Rose McGowan.
Huh. That's quite a story.
Actually, your aunt?
No, it's a super coincidence. I actually have a Rose McGowan as an aunt, but it's
that's funny.
You fool me every time.
I'm sorry.
I've been bamboozled once again.
Bamboozled.
He had his rib taken out so he can...
Just for fun.
That's an urban legend. I don't know if that's true.
God. Well,
I hear he had his rib taken out so he can have a whole miniature family live inside of there. That's a true story.
Oh, God. Well, at the expense of letting this go on for another hour.
Yeah.
I think that does it for this week. Thanks everybody for listening to our show, and Dustin, thanks for joining us again.
Oh, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
It is a delight having you on here. We must do it again soon.
I was gonna say it better be a delight, otherwise I'm just wasting my time. Am I right?
Whoa.
What if you guys sounded sarcastic and the other one was so deadpan? It's just like, is it?
It's
hard to tell anymore.
That's for the audience to decide.
That's how I feel about you most of the time, Kyle. I can never tell when you're being sarcastic.
I feel like that we can add that as a fun interactive element to the show. Are they or are they not sarcastic?
Leave the time codes in the comments.
Leave your guess. The winner will win a free
something.
Yeah.
I got money for prizes.
You'll get a free lamb taco.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and I hope Snowflake Jake brings you spices.
Try not to get on Snowflake Jake's ill-mannered list.
All right, guys, we'll see you later.
Peace out.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch a new episode every week. Also be sure to follow us on our Facebook and Twitter so you can keep up with the show. Links are in the description. We'll see you next week.